Lisa.
And I'm Kira. And we've both been working with polymer clay for over 20 years, and we're going to share all of that experience with you.
And we're going to teach you how to stamp on the clay, we're going to teach you how to mold the clay, we're going to teach you how to use inclusions, we're going to teach you how to transfer on the clay.
We're going to show you basically how to use all the paint, ink, rubber stamps, texture tools, cutting tools, embossing tools, everything that you probably already have in your mixed media studio, how to use that with polymer clay designs.
You might even have some things in your kitchen that you could use as well.
So you're going to walk away from this with over 10 technique videos and also 2 complete projects. You're going to learn how to make covers for a dream journal and also an altered canvas. This class is going to be loads of fun, and we really hope that you'll join us, and you're going to learn all different ways to take your mixed media designs
to the 3rd dimension.
So let's get crafting. We're going to be teaching you how to use polymer clay to bring your mixed media designs into the 3rd dimension. We're used to seeing a lot of paper, fabric, fibers, and beads, and mixed media has tended to be kind of flat. So we're going to use Primo in our demonstrations, but you can also use Fimo, Cernit, Kato clay. Sculpey 3 we tend to stay away from for this because it's usually softer and more brittle after baking. Studio by Sculpey is also good, and there are other brands like Pup and Fimo,
Cernit.
Yeah. And you can find them at most craft stores. I know Cernit is sold at Pearl Arts and Crafts. Primo is sold at Michael's and AC Moore. So is the Studio by Sculpey Clay is sold at AC Moore, but not at Michael's. So whatever's in your neighborhood, or you can go online. There's plenty of places to buy it online.
Right. You don't need a lot of tools to work with polymer clay, but you are going to need some basic tools to get started. One of those things is a rod, and this is an acrylic rod. We actually have these in several colors, but you can get them in clear as well. And this one's just fun because it has bubbles. So you're going to need an acrylic rod, and you're going to need a clay blade, which is approximately 6 inches long, and you can actually use just a regular razor blade for little small things that you want to cut, but it's really recommended that you use one of these clay blades. They're very sharp, but one of the edges is duller, so you have, when you're working with it, you have to remember to look for the sharp edge always down because you don't want to poke yourself using it the wrong way. So you're also going to need some kind of poker tools to poke holes, and you can also add embellishments with these, like little dots in the clay or whatnot. But this is a standard kind of needle tool for working with pottery, and this is just a basic bamboo skewer that you can get at the grocery store. There's also rubber stamps. You can use any kind of rubber stamps. You want to look for something that's deeper recessed with the polymer clays, because the deeper the recess, the better the impression you're going to get into the clay. So these are just a couple rubber stamps we've used. And there's texture sheets, which are just a plastic piece of, I guess, plastic piece of design where they have different textures on them. And one side is impressed when you push it into the clay, and one is raised when you push it into the clay. So both these texture plates have 2 sides, and they work differently, which we'll show you in the videos. And also we're going to show you how to create your own molds and then how to use the molds. So some other things that you might even have lying around your studio are regular acrylic paints. This is the kind that comes in a bottle, but the kind that comes in a tube that you might use for more traditional canvas painting will also work. You may have some glimmer mists, which is a water-based product that has some sparkle and some color, and you can use these with the clay, and we'll show you how. Pearlex, mica powders, and perfect pearls are some other types of things that you can use on the clay. And of course you can always use glitter, and you can put it in the clay or you can glue it onto the clay. You can also use embossing powders, and you can use the plain kind that's colored or the kind that has glitter in it. Either is fine. And you can use inks. This is a alcohol-based ink, which we suggest Pinata by Jacquard or Adirondack Inks by Ranger. Those are the 2 best brands that work with polymer clay. And pigment ink.
for surface designs, we really like the Brilliance inks by Sukaneko because they are pearly and pearlescent, and they show up really well on the clay. And we have cutters of every kind, shape imaginable. You can create anything with a cutter. You can use food type cutters, Kemper cutters, any metal or plastic kind of a cutter. We are going to show you how to use foils, including gold leaf type foils and Jonestones, which I'm showing you right here.
And you're definitely going to need a brush.
Paintbrush for either painting or for powdering. This one has actually been used with the Pearl X powder to powder the surface of the clay. Also,
you're going to need an acrylic block that's going to help you to make the mold.
Right, this is an acrylic block for mounting your unmounted stamps, and that's what I show how to use for making your own molds out of Amazing Mold Putty. And then last but not least, we're going to show the use of a pasta machine. And a lot of people invest in that tool when they're using polymer clay a lot. It's a quicker way to roll a sheet flat. It helps you to mush and mash the clay without using your arms and your body to get hot and, you know, exercise.
It just makes it easier.
It does. So if you are already interested in polymer clay, but if you're not sure, don't use the one in your kitchen, because once you put clay through it, you can't cook with it again. So, you know, think about it before you decide to take the one that you already have. But you can buy a pasta machine lots of different places, and there's the Atlas brand that most people really like, and you're better off investing in a good pasta machine as opposed to, they sell ones for clay at the craft store, but we tend to hear a lot of people complaining about them just because they're not as heavy duty as the Atlas machine.
The Atlas machines are the best quality.
Yeah. So there you have it, and we hope that you enjoy your journey into the world of polymer clay and mixed media.
And let's get crafting.